This story comes from the pages of the limited Marvel manga series called Zombies Assemble. Please support the official release. The story opens in an alternate reality in the world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe shortly after their victory over Loki's invasion in the first Avengers movie. Here we see a young woman, in what appears to be a lab, look on in terror as another man is dragged into the darkness by an unknown force, which then quickly makes its way to her. Things then cut to our favorite genius, billionaire, playboy philanthropist Tony Stark as his friends and staff celebrate his birthday. With the fellow Avengers there to join in on the festivities, Pepper Potts thanked them all for coming, where out of nowhere, a zombified looking creature would emerge from behind to strike Tony. Iron Man would be unfazed though, as he pulled off the monster's mask, revealing it to be a rather playful Captain America in disguise. I had no idea Steve was chill like that, but I love it. Saying this was all Natasha's idea, the gang got in a good laugh, where things quickly took a turn for the dark side, where a mysterious man in a suit arrived to the party. Slouched and making odd groaning sounds, one of the partygoers asked if the man was alright, where he then reveals a bizarre and contorted zombie-like face. Believing this to be yet another prank, Thor and the rest laughed at the man, who were quite impressed at how lifelike this one was. The ones who would not be laughing though would be Steve and Natasha, who tell each other that neither were behind this guy and were concerned as to where he came from. With a rather curious Tony asking if he could touch the man's mask, this zombie would immediately spring to life and try to bite the hero with a fast-acting Cap, just saving him in the nick of time. As the horrified citizens ran for safety, Rhodey had security lock the place down, where Black Widow put the infected out of his misery with a well-timed headshot. Despite all they had already faced in the past, the heroes were rather shocked to add zombies to their list of foes, questioning where such a virus could have come from. As they investigated the body, Tony had Jarvis perform a scan to identify the infected, who was revealed to be part of Stark Industries' R&D division. The frightened Tony then remembered that his team had recently been experimenting with biotechnology and feared this virus may have been his own making. Not having the time to think about this just yet, Cap ordered for them to evacuate everyone from Avengers Tower before things could spread. Managing to get everyone away, Tony then received a disturbing report from Jarvis, who informed him that he had discovered 10 vital signs in a nearby building that had transformed into infected by this mysterious disease. Knowing that this needed to be stopped immediately, the heroes suited up and made their way to the site to deal with the infected and save the innocents inside. Remarking that they had 30 floors to clear, the team prepared to venture in, where things took a sudden turn for the worse, where out of nowhere, Thor dropped his hammer and slumped over, in a similar and disturbing manner to the man from the party earlier that night. Asking the God of Thunder if he was alright, we would see the infection tear through his face, where in a distorted voice, he remarked that he was feeling quite strange. Shocked to see this infection had made its way to one of their most powerful members, the team attempted to remain calm and not cause a scene by casually remarking that the man had dropped his hammer. Not fully realizing what had happened to him yet, the son of Odin attempted to pick up his weapon, but to no avail, it would not budge, where he suddenly collapsed to the ground. Amazed at how powerful this virus was, the team looked on in horror as their friend got back up, where he began to scratch at his eye, claiming that it was quite itchy. He must have scratched the thing pretty darn hard though, for in the next disgusting panel, we see that his eye had fallen right out into his infected hands. With his mind all sorts of warped from the virus, Thor was not quite sure what he dubbed this mystic orb was. Believing it to be one of Black Widow's beauty accessories, he gave it to the woman, where Nat, to avoid causing a scene with this transformed Titan, happily accepted the infected eye, claiming that yes, it belonged to her. Thinking this was hilarious, Zombie Thor walked away laughing hysterically, where Iron Man took advantage of this distraction by locking the hero in one of the containment cells meant for the Hulk. With the furious Asgardian pounding away at the window demanding to be released, Tony said there was no need to worry, as Stark Tech was made to last. As things progressively unfolded, Cap asked what they were going to do about this disease and save their friend, where Nat then revealed that she figured out how this virus could spread. This then caused the haughty Tony to chuckle as he asked what kind of evidence she had, saying that she should leave this to him and Banner, for they were the geniuses, and she was an assassin. We then see the woman calmly explain that while in most zombie outbreaks the infection is spread via bite, but this one is not quite the case, as she was doubtful that a human bite could even pierce Thor's Asgardian skin. She then reveals that this virus was much more dangerous than we all realized, for this infection could spread via a mere touch, for after coming into contact with Thor's eye, she too was now infected with the virus. With the team completely taken back by this, the woman only smiled, asking if there was another cell for her. Swearing to save his girlfriend, Bruce struggled to keep the Hulk at bay as he made his way to the lab to figure out a cure. The remaining teammates then received a distress signal as they saw the virus begin spreading to the streets, where they saw several infected New Yorkers attacking each other outside. Wondering just how this could be stopped, Tony put out a call to War Machine to warn him, where the men heard a sudden boom from inside the building. Much to their horror, they looked on the camera to see the infected Thor had managed to smash his way through the supposed Hulk-proof containment cell. The squad then swore they needed to find the man before it was too late, only to see the very hungry god of thunder slam the door right open behind them.